Hey guys! This is Flirty, Dirty, and Bookish. Welcome to the dark side.
Listen if you dare.
Hey guys, so today on Flirty, Dirty, and Bookish, we're doing something super fun. And we are actually interviewing Miss Lola King herself. We had the best time talking to her. We just want to thank you again for being on our podcast. Also want to give you guys a heads up, there are definitely going to be spoilers for her books in this interview. So if you haven't read them all and you don't want any spoilers, stop listening now, and come back when you have. Or if you're okay with spoilers, then go right ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
We just want to start I'm assuming you're in London.
Yeah, I'm in London.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from France.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm from the south of France.
that's cool. Did you grow up there or?
Yeah, I grew up in the south of France and then I moved to London for university. I was 17, I think, because I was a year early, so yeah. Yeah.
And what did you do before you became an author?
I did so many things before I became an author. I I I did a master's and then I worked in films for a little bit and then I did another master's. So
Oh,
I
wow.
left that industry and then like went into acting school. And then while I was in acting school, I started writing and then I just went straight into that. I did not do anything else.
And how did you get into writing? Walk me through the process of yeah, I'm gonna write a book. How did that start?
Um, it's just this a bit of a random story. So I worked in films and I was writing a TV series for myself, not for the people I worked for. I was a production coordinator and in my spare time at the office, I would write this TV series that I would was it was kind of Stoneview, like the city was Stoneview, but it was not the book that came out. And it had like it was actually fantasy at the time, and it did not have as much smut as it does now. And then I would give it to my sister to read. She loved the series, so and I did 3 seasons of like I
Oh,
think
wow.
like 15 episodes or something, and I would just give her the script to read, and she just loved it. And then my brother heard about it and he was like, "Oh, you've got this series. Like, are you going to show it to your boss? Because like you work in a production company. Why don't you show it to them?" And I simply did not have the courage. And so he was like, "Well, if you're not going to like show it to them as a series, why don't you make a book out of it and then self-publish it?" And I was like, that sounds way too complicated. But he's like, just try. And so I did. And then that ended up being the Stoneview stories,
Oh, wow.
which then changed completely because then I started reading so much dark romance in the meantime that it just completely switched to dark romance.
Do you think you would ever write something in the fantasy realm?
I have had this idea in the fantasy world, but I I don't know if I'd be good at it. It would be like dark romance and like sort of like romantasy, but I just have so many other stories to write. I don't know if I'll ever
Yeah.
get to it.
What is your writing process like? How do you approach writing a book? Are you just yeah, here's my idea, this is what I'm gonna do, or do you extensively plot it?
Um, the things that I know, because it's a universe, it's kind of like who's going to get a book. I know that for probably the next, I don't like 10 books, but it's just such a huge universe. So, and I kind of know their stories. Sometimes I change it a little bit, but in my head, if they're already a side character, I sort of like know their story already.
Yeah.
Um, but once it actually comes to that book, I know the big lines and I know the end, but like the ending, but I don't know exactly. Like I don't plot that specific, like that precisely. Like it's just
Right.
I get into it and I'm like, oh, I know I want this to happen and this to happen. And often it doesn't happen. I just change it anyway. So yeah.
What is your favorite character that you've ever written? Because obviously we have ours, but we're curious if you have a
Oh,
favorite.
I'm actually curious about yours. Can I know yours before?
Mine actually just changed to Achilles. It was Ethan, and then I went back and read Stoneview, and then it was Jake, and then Achilles. And I was like, I just love him
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, mine was Ethan. Then I met Ren and it was Ren. And then I met Jake, and Jake and Ren are fighting for that first position right now. I can't choose between them.
And mine's always been Zion because he just loves Alex so much.
I know
Yeah.
he does, doesn't he? I can't believe you had Ethan. He's like so underrated. Like no one loves him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love
Yeah.
him so much.
Yeah, we love
Ethan was
Ethan.
mine for the longest
Yeah.
time, and then
Oh,
and then him and Jake were like tied, but then Achilles is like, move over, I'm here, and I'm
yeah. I feel like Achilles has dethroned a lot
Yeah.
of favorites.
Mhm.
But I don't know, for me, it's usually the one I'm writing. So
Fair.
lately
That's fair.
it has been Achilles, but now his book is done, so it's probably going to be the next MMC now.
That's fair.
Well, based off of all your MMCs, like which one would you be like, yes, like that's who I would marry, that's who like I would pick.
Don't make do everyone. Do
Just
not
marry all of
marry
them.
anyone from my books.
That's
Let's take away all the like huge red flags,
Yeah,
mhm,
right?
yeah.
But then some of them basically don't exist anymore at this point. If you take away the
Yeah.
red flags, Caden's gone,
yeah,
Nate is gone, Achilles
yeah,
is gone. So already you can't marry them. They don't exist anymore. Chris as well. Like, well, no, Chris, if you take away his red flags, I think he still exists.
yeah,
I would either marry Zai or Ren if we took away like the biggest red flags
yeah.
and
Mhm.
weren't like killing
Those would be
people.
like your type. Yeah,
Probably they're a little bit more protective. I do love a protective type, like a I'll take care
yeah,
of you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, same.
Did you always plan on like when you wrote Stoneview, you're like, I'm gonna make this entire universe and everything's going to be connected in this one area? Or
Hmm.
were you like, oh well this works or this works, and then like that's just like, was it just kind sort of like not coincidental, but like was this
Yeah,
always the grand like
it
plan?
it was a little bit of both. Initially, it was because I wanted it to be just practically, I wanted it to be in the US because initially it was in the UK, but then horrible to say that again. This is like not real life stuff, but because of gun laws, it was really hard in the UK to have someone with a gun. And obviously, we're talking about a lot of gangs and stuff. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
maybe it'd be easier if it's in the US, sadly. Um,
Yeah,
but after that, it was more like, well, I had visited the US a few times, but I didn't know it as well, obviously, as the UK. So I was like, let me make up a fictional town where, it's there, but it's if some things don't quite match, like it's fictional. It's this
yeah,
town doesn't
Mhm.
exist. Like I initially wanted to do like I don't know, like I can't remember what the cities were, but I was like, oh, maybe I could do these cities, but I was like, I've never been, like it would just not be genuine. So I just made them just purely for what the city looks like and everything. I could just make all of that up. And then once I did that, I was like, oh my God, there's all these people living in this sort of like, there's this town, this Stoneview, and then there's like Silver Falls, and then we're gonna split Silver Falls in two. And I was like, how many stories are in the cities? And that's when I was like, this is gonna be a huge universe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then just a little bit more generic stuff. The playlists that you make for all of
Yeah.
your books are so perfect.
Mhm.
Oh,
No, they're
thank
so
you.
good. Delightful Sins is still my favorite. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
We went on a road trip, and I think that's all we listened.
The
Oh my
entire
God,
Delightful
I know.
Sins playlist.
Yeah, Delightful Sense is a little more like rock and punk, and I love it
Mhm.
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
How do you like make them? Is it just like do you find songs that fit scenes? Do you find scenes that fit songs? Like, how do you
Yeah.
create that?
There's no order. Sometimes it's really thought out because it's like this person, especially the Delightful Sins one. I'm like,
Yeah.
these guys, this is what they listen to. Obviously, these are my personal taste as well. I listen to these music a lot, so I'm like, yeah, this is what these guys are listening to. I wouldn't put a music if I feel like it doesn't fit the book and the characters. Like, I wouldn't put the kind of music that you have in Beautiful Fiend and Delightful Sins in Heartless Beloved, for example. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
what I listens to. That's not what Alex listens to. Like, I wouldn't do that. So sometimes if I'm in a mood and I'm listening to a certain type of music and I realize it doesn't fit my characters, that annoys me a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna have to not listen to this for a while and go and listen to what they listen to. Oftentimes I write the I start writing the chapter and I'm like, oh, I know a song that would fit really well, and then I just listen to it on repeat. And sometimes the chapter doesn't have a music, and then I have to sort of go look for it. So like there was a oh no, that was a really random one. Like sometimes it's Spotify suggestions. Like I was writing the chapter where Ren is like saying, am I allowed to spoil things in here?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
We when
you're
we get
fine.
into the books, we'll be
We're
like
spoiling.
asking all of spoilers. So yeah,
Okay.
Put a spoiler warning at the beginning of everything.
yeah,
Okay.
spoil
I'd
whatever
rather
you
we go.
want.
Yes.
There's that scene in Loving the Reaper where he's like, I love you, this and that, like you're mine, but I'll never be yours because and he's like, this is like so frustrating and it's like heartbreaking for him. And I was kind of like typing that chapter and the I had listened to what is that guy in is it Conan something? I don't know. But yeah, is
Yeah,
that
Conan
him?
Gray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
And I had listened to one of his that's called Family Line and that was already in that playlist for Ren and his family. And so then it suggested it as it was playing, it suggested another one, which is called Yours, I think. I think it's called, and it is something like, and it literally says the same thing in the song, and I was like, this is weird and perfect, and I was like, this is going to be this song chapter, but I hadn't planned it at all. It was so random, and one of those when I was like alone in my office, I was like, I wish someone could see this right now.
I love that. So we're gonna get into like talking about the actual books now. So we're just gonna go in like
Yeah.
a series order. So like starting with Stoneview. Obviously, we know that originally it started out as like a fantasy TV series now. But what inspired like Jake and Jamie's story once that's where you like knew you were going? Like what was the inspiration behind that?
I don't remember. Oh my God, I don't remember at all. That was so long ago.
Fair,
I
honestly.
think that was like must have been 5 or 6 years ago now. I really I think this book turned into this because at the time, so initially it was just this fantasy thing, nothing dark, nothing smutty. It was a kind of more YA. The characters already existed from sort of like fictions that I had written in the past. Like Jake already existed, Rose already existed in my head from like little fiction things, like, and then um it gets so deep, but I remember when I turned it into obviously this book and this series, I was reading dark romance and I had started reading a little bit of bully romance, and I had been bullied in high school by like a guy, and I was just like really enjoying this bully romance because it just rewrites the story where you're like, oh, he's bullying her, but they're in love at the end, and I think that was just kind of like I can't rewrite my story. It's done, dusted. I'm never going to see that person again. But this sort of like wound was healing a little bit every time I was reading it. And so I was like, maybe it would make me feel really good to write a bully romance where it's really bad, but then it becomes really good. And I was like, and it did, and it helped so much. And it was very healing and it was cathartic. And I was just like, wow, this is the best. Let me do it for all my traumas. Great.
Um, so speaking of the people in Stoneview stories, so obviously a lot of them have gotten books now. There's like Chris has a book, Rose obviously got her stories, Nate got his redemption story.
Mhm. Kinda.
Do you think kinda? Well, I don't think he can be fully redeemed ever, but what about Luke? Will Luke ever get a book or that's
Yes,
something? Yes.
he will. And everyone thought it was going to be during this Civil 4 series, but it's not, and it's actually not right away. There's another series before Luke gets the book, so people are gonna have to be super patient. But people were super patient when they're like, "We want Nate's book," and then they had to go through Beautiful Fiend, and like first they had to go through the whole of Rose. People who discovered my book when only Stoneview was out, and they were like, "We want Nate's story," had to wait a novella, another two books, and then another three books before they got to Nate. And that was a long time. I think that was 2 years. So yeah, good luck. Sorry. Abby.
Well, does your next series possibly have Aaron Williams in it? Because he's too much of a reoccurring. I wouldn't even say he's a character because
No, he's just somewhat involved in everything.
yeah.
Yeah. He keeps coming back, that boy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first read North Shore, and then I read Silver Falls, and then I went back and I read Stone View, and I'm like, and Rose's Duet, and I'm like, holy shit, this random Aaron Williams person that they've mentioned is actually a big part in this, and all
Yeah.
of these things, and I'm so mad at myself.
No, I
for
read it
reading
the
the
same
wrong
way as
order.
her. And we were on the phone, and I'm like, who was it that cornered Jade in that back room? I'm like, we need to look up the name now. And it was Aaron. And I'm like, oh my God, we've missed so much.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if he's in the next series. Maybe he's the one after. Maybe he's the one after. Who knows? He's getting a book.
But he will get one.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it. I do
Does
know.
it happen to be with Emily?
Who knows? I do. I know.
I like the way that he left off with Jamie. I was like,
When
there's
he was
no way.
saying how much
Yeah.
he still loved Emily. And I was like, oh, like, I just want them
Yeah.
He loves
to
her so
fix
much.
it all. Yeah.
Fingers
I-
crossed, guys.
But then at the same time, Luke really liked her too. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
So like I said, North Shore, like that's where we found you, and that seems like where the entire book community found you. What do
Yeah.
you think the difference was with like North Shore versus like Stoneview or Rose's Duet? Because like that sort of
It,
catapulted everything.
yeah, it's a lot of things, honestly, like you're an author and you don't know what is gonna be the book that suddenly people love. Like you write and you publish and you learn for sure. And also it's a lot of things, like it's a lot of hard work. Like there's a year where the year before, oh wait, was it the year during? Yeah, the year of Beautiful Fiend. Oh my God, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was the year of Beautiful Fiend. Yeah, it was. I was like, there's not going to be one time during this year that people are not getting something from me. So I wrote 8 projects that year, not 8 full-length novels, but 8 projects. And I think I wrote 4 full-length and like a few bonus chapters, like did some omnibus and then a couple novellas. Like it was intense. So there's a lot of there's hard work, and then there's learning how the industry works, learning how to market your books, and then there's just luck. There's pure luck. Like, is I don't know, is a big book talk or bookstagrammer influencer person, I don't know what to call them, sorry, a book talker, yeah, a book talker, going to like pick up your book and start talking about it, and they're on this big channel, like you start hiring some like PR company, like it's just a little mix, it's just a little bit of everything, and then just like pure luck. I did write when I wrote Beautiful Fiend, I kept telling everyone like this is the book that's going to change my life. But at the end of the day, it didn't change my life until like almost 2 years later. So I sort of like inside, I was like trying to manifest it. I was just like, I was writing it and I was like, oh my God, I'm so passionate about this book. It's going to change my life. But it didn't at first. So I don't know. It's
What
really
made
hard.
what made you think that Beautiful Fiend was going to change?
Because I had before that, Roses Do It took me so long to write because I think, I learned later that it was harder for me to write White Shoes. I really wanted to write it because that was Rose's story, but I've not done it so much since then because it was personally for my creativity, it was just harder to write. Maybe I'm just better at writing one-on-one obsession and things like that. And it took me almost a year to write the second one. And but if when you're not big, if you take too long to write something, people forget about you. Fair enough, there's so many books out there. And then it was such a hard thing to try and get back out there. So and then I wrote and then I got the idea. I already knew obviously Kate and Billy were gonna be together. It's part of Stoneview. In Stoneview, you can see there's a scene that's the same with Jamie is like one of them is from Jamie's point of view, and then it's one from Billy's point of view. So I knew that was gonna happen. And so it was at the back of my mind for the whole time that I was writing Roses Do It. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to it. And then I wrote Beautiful Thing in 1 month. And I was like, this is the book. That's why I was like, this is the book. This is the book that's going to change because it just came so naturally. And then although it's worrying that all these fucked up things came naturally, but they did. I was like, yeah, this is how it's going to happen.
Yeah. That makes sense. Then yeah, it was like something that just was like sort of spewed out of you and you're like, this is perfect. Here you go.
Yeah, it was just that. There's this thing, I don't know if you know, at the time I've not done it since and I don't know where they're at now. It's called NaNoWriMo, which is like you write in as a like authors sign up for it, and then you basically sprint for 60 days and you just write for 60 days. And that's what I did that year. And like that it just all came out.
So like what was like the inspiration for like the death match and stuff then? Like how were you just like, this is how we're gonna solve all our problems here on the North Shore?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is one thing that would make things super simple? This is how we sort it out. I don't know. Honestly, the North Shore just came. It to me, these gangs and these like tough people come so much more naturally than um like the billionaires, for example, like the secret society, like the I don't know if things were just falling into place when I was talking about them. And even since Stoneview, and even like, even in Roses Do It, where they take Rachel to be fixed by like Kayla's like
Yeah.
doctor and like on the North Shore, like all these things they were building up and they were just brewing at the back of my head. And I was just like, oh my God, like everything makes so much sense on that side of town to me. I don't know if it's because I love gangster films. I love like like The Godfather, like all these things. I mean, they're more mafia, but they always have these hierarchies and the way they work and everything, and these rules that they all made up, but they all respect. And it just works really well for me.
Just going back to how like Beautiful Fiend sort of kicked everything off on North Shore. So once like your popularity like totally like skyrocketed, did that change how like you approached writing moving forward? Like did it make things a little bit more like nerve-wracking where you're just like
Yeah, it
like
does.
there's
I
way
think,
more eyes on?
I mean, I'm not like the most popular dark romance author, like there's people who are like obviously so much bigger than me, but just that change, that little change,
Mhm.
which was a year ago now, um, which was big for me, even though there are much bigger people, like it was big to me. And what was I writing at the time? This happened, and I think the one after that might have been Loving the Reaper. Uh, That would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and I just kept texting my agent and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm so scared of what people are gonna say, or like people, that's when, because until then, like, obviously, most authors, we stay out of reader space. So I don't actually go and look at what people are saying about my books. But then it just comes to you, like you get tagged in things and whatever. And thankfully, it's usually good things. But even the good, I was like, oh my God, they love this so much. Like, what do I do now? But
Yeah.
It was actually worse with Achilles. Everyone was just looking forward to Achilles, and I was like, oh my God, if he doesn't live up to people's expectation, I'm just not gonna
Well,
have a
he
good time.
surpassed
He
mine.
definitely
So
surpassed
Thank you.
expectations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you for bringing him into my life.
Yeah.
He is real in my brain, and I'm happy to see him. Um, so just diving more into like the characters. So Alex is so cunning and smart, more than like even meeting her past heartless beloved and like in like Silver Falls and everything, you wouldn't really expect what happened to have happened. Were you always planning on making her like super smart and cunning and very like, oh, I can play with you?
Yeah. It's so difficult to write a good girl because
Yeah.
people don't like them. But then they also don't like if the badasses are like too mean. So it's hard, and a lot of people didn't like Alex, to be fair. Or they'll be like, I didn't like Alex until da da da, like until she did this whole thing with like her dad and Zai and everything. It's always like I always test people's patience during the book because the characters are so flawed. And I'm like, you have to wait until they're not anymore. It's not going to be like this. So it it's hard, but yes, I knew, and I actually was like every time I was leaving a clue about what Alex is going to do at the end, I was like, you can't make it too obvious, but at the same time, I want someone to reread, if they reread the book, they'll be like, oh shit, like at this point, that's she meant like she was gonna kill her dad, like it's just
Yeah.
and like obviously you can't have things coming out of nowhere. So that's why then you build this whole backstory. Like she's really smart, yeah, but because also her dad was putting so much pressure on her, and she's such a good girl and she's so scared of breaking the rules. Yes, but there's something behind it. So everyone's personality is built on like the environment they grew up in and everything. So yeah, it was all planned. But I know I'm testing people's patience when the good girls are too good and they're like borderline doormats.
Yeah. When I first read it, I was like, huh, interesting, interesting. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like as soon as she was like talking and like she knew everything, and I was like, what the hell? And then I went back and reread it. And like you said, I was like, okay, well that like you like why is she bringing up the party? Like, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
all of these things, and honestly, rereading it makes you look at the book come a completely different way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
it
does actually. And it's even that book was so hard to write because it was also they're standalones, right? So I will also you get a completely different experience if you've never read Beautiful Fiend before. If you've not read Beautiful Fiend, you don't know that Zai's been stabbed in Beautiful Fiend by Caden. And so at the beginning, when she's like, that man, I don't know who he is, but I can tell that he's got stabbing wounds on his stomach. Some people straight away are like, it's Zai. But
yeah.
some people, if you've never read Beautiful Thing, you're like, okay, what the fuck? Why do I care? Like, and then you just find out at the end. So everything is like a total different experience depending on like how many times you've read the book
Yeah.
or like if you've read the other books. Yeah, it's a sort of shit show.
So after Zion Alex's book was Delightful Sins, were you scared to write that one since if you had read Beautiful Fiend, most people hated Jade. We hated Jade
Yeah.
going into
Yeah, of
Delightful
course.
Sins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared to write it, but I knew it was probably going to be the least read of the four, and it is. And that's okay.
I'm
Um,
shocked
Different.
by it.
Yeah.
No, I hated her going in, but the moment
Yeah.
I read it, I was like, oh, this is my favorite by
No,
far.
literally, I was like, oh my God, you're gonna make me like this girl. I just know it. As soon
yeah,
as she
yeah,
started
but
driving her car, I'm like, yep,
it's
I'm hooked now. Yeah.
just that some people don't want to read about, and that's fair enough. Like, I'm always like, look, you read it, you read it, you don't read it, that's also fine. Like, I'm never gonna like shove my books down someone's throat. But yeah, people, like a lot of people just don't want to read about Jade. They're like, she's a dick. Why would I want to read? And also they also hate Ethan and Elliot because of obviously they kill Zara in Heartless Beloved. So they hate all the characters. They're like, why would I read this book? But it's just so yeah, definitely I look at my dashboard and Delightful Sins take a hit compared to the other books. But it's okay. Like to me, I want to tell their stories. And to me, it doesn't matter. Like they're always gonna get their stories because it's already in my head. I know they're getting it. So
Yes.
I publish beautiful I publish Heartless Beloved and people hate it. And I'm like, doesn't matter because she's getting it. She's getting
Yeah.
her book anyway.
Mhm.
So no, it's not gonna change anything for me.
But like is like writing a redemption story. Like Nate got a little bit of his own redemption in
Mhm.
View. Um, so like going into Lawless God, it wasn't as big of a like, okay, now you're gonna make me like him because you already kind of did a
Yeah.
little bit. But writing a character that you know that everybody hates, like, is
Yeah.
that like I could imagine that'd be like still like you're gonna write it, it's their story, like whatever. But I could imagine it's nerve wracking and you're like, wow, I really hope like I can get people to change their minds. Because I
Honestly,
ended
I
up loving
wasn't for
Jade.
Jade. Honestly, for Jade, I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's things that are more love-wracking than this, honestly. Like, I don't, I don't know, like I don't get stressed for like who the characters are deep down, if that makes sense. Like I get stressed from like good expectations. Like when they have like big expectations. So like I get more stressed about Achilles, for example, than I get about people that are disliked because I'm like that's just like everyone's all my characters, the first thing I say is like they're super flawed. That's what makes like them so interesting in my eyes. So yeah, it wasn't as nerve-wracking as you'd imagine, honestly. I'm more stressed when people love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more to live up to when everybody
Yeah,
loves them. Yeah.
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 So Emma's death aided in bringing the two gangs together. Was that always the plan to kill Emma? Like, did you always know she was gonna die from like the moment Jamie met her, or was she doomed?
Not from Stone View, but from Beautiful Fiend, yeah.
Yeah.
She
Hmm.
was gonna die from Beautiful Fiend. I think it would be, well, first of all, it'd be so unrealistic to write those books and no one dies, like we are at
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, we had a first one with Zara, who wasn't a big character but was so important to Zai, and then yeah, and then I knew Emma was gonna die, but I didn't know exactly how. I didn't know it was gonna be like, yeah, it's because then like that's how they're all gonna unite and stuff. Like, no, but I knew she was leaving. I was like, you're not gonna stay with us, unfortunately.
Um, so now that like the North Shore is like not at war, like is like Billy and Kaden gonna move back? I know they're like not at war, but like internally they
Mm,
kind of are. But like
mm.
would Billy and Kaden ever move back, or are they always going to be in New York?
Billy and Kaden follow Billy's career. They're just like Kaden's just like it's wherever you're at, baby. It's just they do that. So I think her career is going to change if she has kids, things like that. Might start impacting, obviously she's a fighter, so it's going to be
Yeah.
difficult after, during and maybe after, I don't know. So, yeah, that's all I can say.
And I know you're talking about Zara. Tamar, is she ever like is she just a perpetual side character? Is she going to maybe get her own story?
I will say Tamar is probably the one character who comes back a lot, but I'm not sure she's going to get a book. She might, but I don't have it in my head right now of who
Yeah.
she'd be with, or she's very, very special and I love her so much, but I'm not 100% sure. She hasn't, I think people who I know are going to get the books is because the other character already exists in the universe. So this is not very hard for me to think about. I don't think Tamar's character, like Tamar's significant other, doesn't exist in the universe right now. So I don't know if they're going to arrive or not at some point.
And then what about Logan and Racer?
No.
No.
That's only because I don't write MM. So if someone wants to write it, I'll lend them the characters. No. I write MM in White Shoes. I mean I did.
Yeah.
But it's just not, I don't read it. I'm not, yeah, I don't know if I'd be good at it. Like it's, so I just would rather leave it to people who write MM and they're great. And
Yeah.
it's not, I'm not.
Would you ever write like two females?
Yeah.
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 Mhm. Is that having to
Or-
do with Lucky maybe getting a book eventually?
I mean, we know she's lesbian, so if there's gonna be two females, we know she exists.
Gotcha.
Um, Moving on to Silver Falls, what inspired the secret society? We're always like, well, they don't have gangs, so they have to have something else fucked up. So let's do
Yeah.
that.
There you go, you answered the question. I'm like, they don't, what is their own version of like privileged gangs, basically, like overprivileged? Like it was a lot of, I don't know, like I think in the past few years, I don't know if it's maybe, I don't know what it is, but I think we have heard a lot more. I don't know if it's because of social media and stuff, of like an unofficial secret society. I don't know, like all those like super, super rich people, politicians, blah, blah. And we're just discovering more and more, like, like the Epstein files, like all these things, like they're all so connected. And I'm always like, fuck, these things are so real.
No,
And like,
actually, they have to be.
Mhm.
yeah, and like we're obviously just like normal people, like we don't really know about them, but it was fun like imagining. I think if I had had more characters that I could have put in this series that were related to the society, I would have gone a lot more depth into the secret society. But at the end of the day, I was more it was a choice that I made, that I was more interested in the characters like at uni, and like yes they were part of a secret society, but I was more like interested in their personalities and their stories rather than their like how in depth I could have gone into the secret society, like especially with the last one. I was like, I don't want to repeat this sort of like initiation like three times in a row. Like at the end of the day I'll just be writing the same thing again. So I just wanted to go more into Achilles' mind, for example, than like the Secret Society, because my books are so long already. And but I would like, I think it'd be interesting to go more into it, because who knows the kind of shit I could come up with.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in the end I decided not to. Hey ho.
Or maybe you could write a secret society that people actually want to be in. And they
That's called a book club.
yeah.
And that's just, we already have those.
Yeah.
What inspired like the Greek stuff and all of that within the Silent Circle?
Just me being a huge mythology nerd. Like I actually had to like scale back a little bit. I was just like, sometimes I was getting too much into it and I was like, no one fucking cares. They're like, I would write like a whole thing of like why it's that name they've chosen from, or why it's that thing they're using for the initiation. I'm like, this is not a history book. Stop it.
What was Chester's like name in the circle?
God, I did not think about that. I did
They're a
not.
god of like assholes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
that's
be
probably
him.
what he was. Um, I don't even know who he would have been. I mean, all technically, if you think about it, like all Greek mythology gods are assholes. So it was
Yeah.
actually really hard to to find some that were like kind of okay. But yeah, like I don't even know who he would have been. I was just like, that guy needs to die.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
had to go.
I kind of wished
Zai came back and ripped him apart.
yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I had to choose who Zai was killing for Alex, and the thing is, like, I wish it had been Chester, but then I also wanted him to be here a little more. So like he couldn't kill him in Heartless Beloved because I still wanted him alive. And then by the time we're on Loving the Tormentor, it's not Zai anymore. You know, like
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
need to like we have other people we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that. But I think I just had fun that with the fact that Chester fucked up and then I had everyone from that group like ready to kill him because he fucked up
Mhm.
with Alex. And so it was kind of like you chose the wrong girl.
Yeah.
She's just everyone loves her so much. And so the first thing Achilles did when he came back was like ban him because Alex is too nice. So, but at the end of Heartless Beloved, like she's still trying to like, when like his arm's broken and he's like drunk at a
Mhm.
party and he's like, oh, and like putting his arms around her. I'm just like, Alex is like too nice to like kick him out of the group or something, and then she's just gonna play along.
Mhm.
But Achilles, the second he comes back, is gonna be like, fuck
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
you
like,
gotta go.
I'm back. You're gone. See you later.
You hurt our little angel, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like friendship wise, like between like girls and guys, I definitely think like Alex and Achilles were a lot closer than what I had assumed.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
thought like okay, like Peach and Ren, they're just automatically close. And then Ella was kind of always dealing with other things. And then
Yeah.
like yeah, you see them together and you see them like okay, well like when Chris first like comes in to the house and whatever and Alex goes and sits on the couch with like Achilles and stuff. I didn't really understand like how close they were
Yeah.
until
Yeah. It all comes down to personalities, and this is just things, honestly, this is just thing I notice when I observe people. Like obviously, I think a lot of authors spend so much time observing people, and it's just I've got no experience in like sociology or psychology or anything. This is just from pure observations, but you tend to see that in like those kind of groups, the person who is the most accepting and just has this big heart and forgives a lot, like Alex, can be a little closer to the person who is the opposite. Like who is just
Cold.
not
Mhm.
that nice. And
yeah,
so because he's not that nice, like a lot of people, so like, he'll clash with Peach all the time. They love each other, but they'll just clash. And then there's just because Alex is a little more of a people pleaser, she might accept his behavior a little more, and so they end up just being quite close. Ella is big, could be like that, but Ella's got people outside of that. She's got her brother, and she's got Chris, and she's got Chris's friends, and so she's got more people that she is friends with, and so less people that she's specifically close to, except obviously
yeah.
her two girls.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Speaking of Ella and Chris, they've been inevitable since like the beginning. Jake knew they were together. We knew about Chris's secret girlfriend back in Stoneview
Mhm.
Stories. Were you always planning on having their book so much later?
Yeah, because it was going to be during Ella's uni, so
Mhm.
I had to wait until it was her turn to be at university.
Yeah.
That's the
Fair.
thing. It's the same thing like with like second gen. Like a lot of people are asking about second gen. I'm like, but things have to go in chronological order, and those are
Mhm.
babies right now. So we're literally like a while away if it were to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. And there was a whole, what was it, a year and 8 months?
and that's how long Achilles was dead. But there's also 18 years before those kids are old enough to get married. So
Yeah.
The girls are what? The
You've
girls are
got a
what,
while.
6?
are okay.
12.
Speaking of,
So
are
12
we
years.
ever going to find out more about why Livy is so quiet?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Might not be their book, but
Yeah.
with time and the universe that keeps, growing and people making appearances, you're going to just get more information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to Silver Falls, you. The Scrabble pieces.
Yeah.
What inspired
Yeah.
that?
How'd you come up with those? 'Cause-
Like the one time in my life that I played Scrabble. It's like you're like a dark romance author. You can't do anything in real life without thinking, "Oh my God, the fucked up version of this would be."
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, like I played Scrabble like what I don't know, 2 years ago. Like, I don't know. I played once. I don't even remember the context, but I remember seeing the little pieces and being like, if those were shoved down someone's throat, that would be fucked up. So then I'd be
You're gonna
like,
write it. Into my
every
notes it goes.
every fuck, you know how you have what do we call them? The when you let the crazy thought win, or I can't remember what they're called.
Intrusive thoughts.
The
Yeah.
intrusive
Let them take
thought, like
over.
that's every the intrusive thought that goes through my mind ends up in a Doc romance book. I'm like, you can't do this. Put it in a book.
Were you always, well, I'm assuming, but were you always planning on like making Peach like a little secret serial killer?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could not wait. That was actually from it's while I was writing not just the North Shore, and I was having lunch with my good friend Jay Rose, and I was like, look, the next series I'm gonna write is either gonna be this or that, and it was like SFU or another one, and I was like, I really want to write something. Initially it was gonna be this this guy who's really into this girl, and it was going to be kind of bully, and then but she doesn't want to be with him because, well, she says she doesn't want to be with him because all his dates and his girlfriends keep dying, but in the end it was her killing all of them. But I was like, that would just come out of like who in this universe, like I'm just like, what is
Yeah.
who is doing this? It doesn't work. We don't have anything. Those characters don't exist. And so instead of like writing a completely different standalone that has nothing to do with the universe, I was like, it could just be just someone's a serial killer, is the woman, no one expects it because he kills people. And then that's how I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be Peach.
Yeah.
It makes sense for Peach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With her personality for sure.
Yeah. So if Achilles was Hermes the whole time, how did Chris get into the account?
That was Jake.
Yeah.
We
That
figured
was
we
Jake
kind of
getting him
figured.
into the account, but they didn't figure out who it was. He just got him. Obviously, I'm no tech. He probably could, but that's kind of probably not what he was trying to do at the time. But it was the funniest thing about knowing Achilles with Hermes the whole time was when he would write things about himself. And I
Yeah.
was just like having the time of my life, knowing that I was like, this is so Achilles, just to write things about how much he loves himself.
I loved how they called him out on that in the epilogue. They
Yeah.
actually call him out.
Yeah.
I was like, someone needs to tell him.
Yeah. They're like, the one that you wrote when you came back to school.
My
Yeah.
favorite fuckboy is back. What was that one about?
He's like, what? I had to tell everybody I was back.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, Achilles.
And then how did he get his account back?
Well,
That
Chris hacked into it to post, right? But Achilles could have been posting the whole time. But if he did, he would have
The-
outed. Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't like change anything. He just was
So-
like got in there so he was able to post.
yeah, like that year
Okay.
there were also posts posted by Achilles. This
Yeah.
just the post about Ella that were the Chris's post.
Right.
But obviously you have to keep in mind that everything that would fuck up with the society, that was the plan. Like the whole plan was like, even when he was like blackmailing Peach or whatever, like it was all, so he would not take down anything that is actually bringing attention to the secret society, is actually making them look bad, or like these whole things about Ella, like that all works out for him and he's just in it for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. His only thoughts were Sophie and everything. Yeah.
What happened to Camilla at the end of Loving the Tormentor?
What happened? What? Sorry.
Camilla,
To Camilla,
Oh,
was she arrested?
did we finally get rid of her, or is she still just kicking around somewhere?
she's kicking around. She's there. She survives
I feel like
every
she's just
series.
she's constantly there. She's like a cockroach we can't get
Yeah.
rid of.
Yeah.
There's this one girl who always comes back. I can't remember her name. She's this one reader. She's so sweet. She always comes back every book. She's like, is this going to be Camilla's book? Like she wants it so badly. So, and she is getting a book.
Oh, there's our answer on that one.
Yeah.
She's getting
the next
redemption. they do want her to have one because they need to understand how she's friends with Rachel.
Yes, that I truly don't get.
Now they're not friends anymore, for sure.
But how were they?
But like
friends
even in
with
high
Rachel?
school, I
Yeah.
think I need more of a. I just
Yeah.
need to see more of Camilla's inside personality
Yeah.
to really
Yeah,
understand.
it's
Yeah.
really interesting. She's the Stoneview version of Jade.
That's
She's-
fair when you
I was
think about it
gonna
that
say,
way.
one
yeah,
that-
sure she's like really insecure and is just a
Yeah.
bitch because she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's gone through 2 fiancés now with the whole silence.
She has. And her man, we've seen him.
Oh, we know him.
We know him
Oh my god.
briefly.
Oh God, now I'm
And now
I'm gonna
briefly. Okay, so it's a quick brief thing.
Yeah.
Now that's what we're gonna think about.
May I ask when we met him?
Then it's gonna start getting really easy.
What
Um,
series did we meet him in?
Stoneview. You met him in
Stoneview.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, got it. I think maybe. Yeah. Everything in the same
I think so. I think so, but I don't want
And they're gonna be the same series as Luke.
Okay. Does yours start with a C?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Are we
You're
right?
I'm not gonna like tell you. I'm not gonna say yeah. I'm not
We'll have
gonna.
to wait and see.
What was your favorite part about writing Loving the Tormentor?
I know it's horrible, but I think just going in so much depth when it comes to Achilles' mind and like depression,
Yeah.
everything, it's not like my favorite part because like woohoo, but it's just so I don't know, like it's so when you talk about these things, it's so cathartic and it's just you talking about these things through someone else, it feels really good and so healing and everything. And then knowing that other people are going to relate and they do, and then they message me about it, and then that just is kind of like my favorite bit.
Yeah. No, I like the entire time it's like there's parts where I was like, oh yeah, I can definitely like relate to like how he's feeling and very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his inner self was more relatable. And
Yeah.
then he just put
Yeah.
off a different front to everybody else.
Yeah. And sometimes like not even on purpose. It
Yeah.
when you when yeah,
So
sorry, go
closed
on.
off. No, he was just so closed off to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it comes to a point sometimes when, if you're depressed, like obviously everyone is different, but it can come to a point where it feels almost like home to not feel okay, and it becomes your like comfort zone to not try anymore. And that's what it was for him. Like everything where people are like, oh, it's like you hate everyone, or you're not even trying, or people just want to be the person who's gonna make you like not such a moody fuck or whatever. Like when Ella said those things to him, like it's not that he hates everyone, it's just that he doesn't care anymore. Like he just doesn't have that will to participate or be happy or whatever. So it makes it even more powerful, obviously, when Nyx takes him out of that.
Yeah. One of our favorite parts though was when the girls were mad at the boys for just taking off and they were playing their Angry Girlies playlist.
Yeah, that playlist exists.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna ask.
It's not mine.
Okay.
It's not mine, but basically I was writing it and I knew there's a few songs I put on there in the book. I was like, I need a playlist with like these songs combined, but I'm apart from my books, really shit at making playlists. Like I'm like I don't care. Like I start them and there's like 3 songs and then like I start another one. So
No,
I have
I
like 10
agree.
playlists of like 2 songs and a half. But then I typed it on Spotify and I was like Angry Girl playlist, and then I like would like scroll through and be like, oh, there's this song in it, and then one of them had like the 3 songs I mentioned in it, and I was like, yep, that's the one. I don't know if I could find it anymore, but I mean I can probably go in like my history or something.
Oh, if it's on Spotify, we'll be able to find it.
Yeah.
She'll go.
I
We'll
can't
go
remember
for
what
it.
it's called exactly, but it had the, what is it called? The cheating stuff. Oh my God, I'm so bad at remembering titles of things. Terrible, terrible. What is it?
Before he cheats.
You had
Before
before
he
he
cheats.
cheats, A B C D E F U was mentioned in
Yeah.
the book. 10 things
And
I
then like
hate about
10
you.
things I hate. Yeah, so it had
Yeah.
these 3 songs in it, and I was really happy.
Hate men here.
Probably.
I'll look for it. I'll email it to you guys.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I know we're sitting there like,
I need this
I need
playlist.
that.
Yeah.
No. My boyfriend pisses me off. Yep. I am very much Peach in that moment. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No one in that moment is going to be like, do you know what? Like Alex, she doesn't really have a choice. She's being physically taken away. Like she might fight back, but maybe she doesn't. But no one would be like Ella, just be like quietly leaving. No one.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
No, Ella's just walking out and she goes, I'm still mad, by the way.
But yeah, she's still
I'm
going.
coming with you, but I'm still mad at you.
He's like he is her worst weakness. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Mhm. No, yeah.
When okay, so we're gonna have spoilers in the beginning of this. So when you decided that Achilles is going to be really shitty at trying to kill himself, for a lack of better words. What why do you think, or why did you I'm having a hard time trying to word this. He basically lived for Sophie.
Mhm.
Like pretty much. Like he like decided not to kill himself for her.
Yeah.
Why did you then write that he was going to then again try to?
Yeah.
If everything that he was trying to do, he had started the process of taking down the circle. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't he have just like ran away?
I mean, in an ideal world, but he had tried to run away before, and he had to come back, and he knew that if he had run away, he couldn't be with Sophie anyway. It was too dangerous. Also, at that point, he is part of the circle now, and it kind of ended up being, I'm gonna do all these things, I'm gonna out them, they're gonna kill me. Because they all, like his dad has warned him now, they're like, they all want to kill you. They know it's you. He wouldn't be able to do it anonymously anymore. And it was sort of like his the conclusion he came to was just like, this is going to be the best for them. This is going to be the best for Sophie, and this is going to be the best for Nyx. That I out them, I'm gone. They're not going to be looking for me wherever Nyx or Sophie is. They're not going to be hurting them. They're not going to be, it's just going to be done because they know anyway the person who did it is Achilles and he's gone. It also is that it comes when, I think when someone ends up, killing themselves, it is the only solution that they have. They're not really thinking straight anymore. And I think, well, they think they are.
Yeah.
It's really an illness. Like they have come to the thing of like, I know for sure 100% they're going to be better off without me. It's not even something that they're going to question anymore. And it's so terrible, but that's why I had to add in the end that it was not planned for him to still be alive.
Yeah.
He had, and I had to write it, actually spell it out, which I don't love doing. I don't like, I think readers are really smart. You don't need to spell things out for them. But I had to spell that one out because I didn't want there to be any confusion that he was not at the end of the rope. Like it was not, the plan was he was gonna like free everyone and blah blah blah, and that he was going to kill himself. Like it was just pure luck, or call it whatever you want, fate, or the fact that just he is bad at it, that he's still there, and that he kind of like woke up in that body bag almost, which I had to kind of check that it was possible. Apparently it is.
Oh wow.
To like when like you know like they test your like heartbeat and they think you're dead but you're not. It also would be that it has just done it. But anyway, I didn't get into that, but I just kind of was like, is this a thing? It is rare, but that's all everything in my books. Like it's rare. It almost never happens, but it does in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
like Nate being like shot in the chest twice and
Somehow he's survived. Can we talk about Nate getting shot in the chest twice
Nate is
and
invincible.
over top of both bullet wounds, he has tattooed the flower that represents those girls.
Nate is fucking insane. I had to the second time I did it about him getting shot, I was just like, we need that. It's almost like compulsory at this point because he thinks he's invincible. He genuinely is like, no one can fucking kill me. And so he is going to use this forever to be like, I'm right, I'm invincible,
yeah.
no one can kill me.
Give him
So
more of an ego than he already had.
exactly. He genuinely is just like, what are you gonna do? Kill me? You can't.
Yeah.
What flower do you think represents you? That's what I'll put over the bullet wound you leave in.
As he's bleeding to death, tell me your flower.
I'll be back. One thing though, I had a hard time with Nate in Stoneview is
Mhm.
when he hit Rose.
I know.
Um,
It's horrible.
We got it like in the past chapters, it like it's dumb and there was other ways to handle it, but like I get why he was hitting
Yeah.
her. It was to keep Bianca away. But when Rose sees Nate for the first time, like Bianca's nowhere around. So I just
Yeah.
like
So this one is still the one, to be fair, the one with Rose, the one when he hits Rose, there's always like you think Bianco's not around, but for Nate, he has been sent by Bianco. So to like take over that territory. So to him, he is around. And I still don't think that's excusable, to be fair.
mhm.
But also, I didn't think at the time that Nate was going to need to be redeemed. And so to me, he was like that huge villain. I wasn't 100% sure he was going to get a book. And I was like, let's make him like the worst he can be. Then I was a bit like, oh shit. But, you know,
like I
hey
really
ho.
hate him
But
in
that
Stoneview.
one's kind of similar. The ones, him beating up Jake though, like he doesn't have to. Like that is still like domestic abuse, 100%.
Yeah.
It was so, I mean, that's what I think he's just never going to be redeemable. Just the way I think Caden's never going to be redeemable. Like it's just one of those, yeah, like we can make them just like afterwards, like as nice and in love and everything as possible. I think they're gone. And that's okay. And it's okay if we still love them. It's okay. And I love them and I respect every reader who's loved them because we're still talking about the books here.
Yeah,
So we're still
exactly.
in the fictional world, but they're horrible, horrible people. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like reading that and I'm like, I like genuinely like
Well, because
hate
we already knew Nate and we'd read Nate's book first. We were going back and reading it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is wrong with you? And like I hated him
No.
so much in the first Stone or second Stoneview book.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
by the third one, I was like, okay, like I'm warming up to you again. But the second one, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, when he reappears, like those
Yeah.
first chapters, when he
Mhm.
reappears, like he's for sure horrible. I think that Sam also is horrible at that
Oh,
point
Yeah. No.
because he is like full on like going with Nate and like he's crazy thinking, but like do something, bro. Like when they're like all attacking Rose and Sam's just here like, oh, I love you, but you know.
I think though a man hitting a woman, like yeah, what Nate did to Jake is redeemable.
Mhm.
But so many people will just look past that and be like, oh, like dude, like guys
Yeah.
just like fight with their fists.
Yeah.
And like a man doing it to a woman, you just remember that more. And I think
That's true.
and if it weren't for Nate hitting Rose, you wouldn't like look at essentially like Nate hitting Jake, for example, as something that's unredeemable
Mm.
because of just like
Because Jake goes at him just as hard.
or
but-
just like they're boys and they fight with their friends.
Yeah.
And like that's just like
Yeah.
but then if it were two girls, it's a little bit different. Like the whole Jade.
Like Billy and Jade. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Yeah.
I think we should, in general, come to the conclusion that like hitting your siblings, beating them up, or other people is not okay.
No,
But
exactly.
but obviously we're in such like a dark romance world where, you know, we're for quote unquote forgiving, fictionally forgiving like a lot of things because it fits the story.
Yeah.
Which obviously like we need to be, and like I for example used to put like, obviously I was so inexperienced as an author at the time, like bear in mind that was like my first series. I did not go into depth for my content warning as I do now, for example. Like I would be like, oh, it's dark romance, like surely people are going to expect all these things, but then slowly with time I'm like, actually there's this and there's domestic violence and like there's like a lot of things going on that are so not okay. And you know, some of us need to write about it, some of us need to read about it, and just how it is. But for sure, like there is domestic violence, there is unredeemable character, which, you know, I definitely like put out in big bold letters at the beginning of the book. So it's tricky for sure.
Yeah. I just think that there's like not it's not a stigma, but like that um like or I guess like our views are skewed when like it's domestic violence, whatever way you put
Yeah.
it, Nate and Jake, or Nate
Yeah.
and Rose.
Yeah.
But I think that you don't think about it like that when it's two boys.
And
Like
also,
it's wrong, essentially. Like it's
yeah, and like there's a lot of things that we do when we read that we do unintentionally, and that is just how we grew up, that is just how society is. Like it's like another example is like we find it so much harder to forgive a woman in those books and forgive a man. Like we redeem all those pitch like morally pitch black MMCs, and then you know the girl does like this one thing and we're like, oh my God, bitch. And like we find it like so hard to forgive her. We find people find it 10 times harder to redeem Jade than they find redeeming Ethan and Elliot. So, but that's not like, I don't think that's anyone's fault. It's true. And we should definitely individually should work on all those things.
yeah,
But I wouldn't blame, like, you know, I don't blame any like myself or any reader that we find it. I mean, when I say myself, I mean myself as a reader, that we find it more difficult to forgive an FMC than an MMC. Like that's not technically our fault. That is the world we grew up in. And
yeah,
sometimes I mention it a little bit, um, like when the thing happened to Billy, like the whole beating up, like with Jade and what's his name? The other guy who's there. Oh my God. So I'm not good at names, even with my own characters.
Sawyer. It was Sawyer.
Sawyer, thank
Sawyer,
you.
yeah.
My God, thank you. When this whole thing happens, like Jade is Billy says it like later in the book, I'm mad at Jade. Like there were other people, but I'm so fucking mad at Jade because that is how she grew up. Like she grew up thinking girls, like other women in like our like group of enemies are my personal enemies, was like all those guys are committing all those crimes, but they're guys, you know? And so she's like saying to Zai, like, I'm so fucking mad at Jade. But technically, you're mad at everyone, you know? Like, well, I mean, she should be, but she is like got this competition with other women in that town. So, yeah, it's true. It's a fact. Like, we're all in some way or another biased towards something because of like how we grew up in society and
Yeah.
everything, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what like and for me, it makes it harder for me to understand why Rose is so forgiving of Nate and Jake
Yeah.
isn't. I know that
Yeah.
Jake and they have the whole Jamie thing, but still, like
Yeah.
Rose is like so quick to like bring him back in. And I'm just like sitting here
Yeah.
like, why?
Why? I know. And that is actually, it's complicated. And I think it's like, like survivor of domestic abuse dynamic. It is family dynamics. It's really complicated. I'm not writing these books to find solutions to that. Sometimes just to like shed a little bit of light on it and just kind of like, there is this person, and if you're struggling to hate them, that's okay, because we can't all be like super strong all the time and just forgive everyone who's done us wrong, and ignore the fact that you kind of love them a little bit as well. It's very complicated dynamics, and I went hard with Rose for that. Like,
Yeah.
she's this badass, and she will kill someone, but she cannot for the life of her hate her brother who abused her.
Yeah.
It's strange, but it's just how it is, and it's very real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the entire, and yes, Jake has a little bit more of, not more of a reason, but a different reason with the whole Jamie situation. But
Mhm.
like that's like long over now, and he's still very much like, you're still my brother. I will still come and help you, but like
Yeah.
we're not going to be like hanging out. Whereas I feel like Rose would.
I think
Yeah.
most of that
Yeah.
it just has to do with he wants to keep Jamie away from Nathan.
Yeah.
Because even though Nathan's with Kayla now, he'll poke the bear.
Yeah.
He loves poking the bear. He
Just
just wants
fuck
to,
with him.
he'll
For
just fuck with
sure.
them. I
Yeah.
don't think, yeah, I think Jake has forgiven him just as much as Rose has. You can kind of see it at the end of Stoneview when he's
It
like
takes
I
it, yeah.
loved my brother, but he'll always keep Jamie away from Nathan, I think.
I think
Yeah.
he's also, I mean, now they're all obviously had their happy ending, but Jake had it way before Rose, and so he's almost like, like why would I like engage in this toxic behavior again when I've had my happy ending? So I do want, in the end, like, they're never going to be the perfect family, and they're always going to have the past that they have. But I think that they are kind of all okay now. I don't think they're going to spend Christmas together, you
Yeah.
know,
That was
or
like
That
at
was on the
least
record.
Jake wouldn't.
yeah.
But that's also, Jake has just put boundaries earlier on that Rose didn't. And that's it. And like, that's just, you can do that with, some people can do that and some people can't because everyone's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized Jake also shot Nathan. He just shot him in the shoulder. He's been shot by both his siblings and his wife.
His wife.
Yeah. Anybody who
Everyone.
actually gives a shit about him.
Anyone else want to shoot Nathan?
So you already kind of spilled a little bit about how Camilla's getting a book.
Yeah.
You already have a plan, obviously, on what's coming next. Is there?
So you said it's going to be a while for Luke, which obviously it's going to be a while for Camilla then as well if they're in the same like series. Can you say what's coming next or like any hints of what the next series is?
Do you know what? I'm not going to, because I'm so like close to announcing it
Okay.
that at this point, I might as well just keep it an entire secret. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Like, like honestly, if I didn't have to just like be doing some sort of marketing and be careful about like what I spoil and what I don't spoil, I'd just be like, guys, I'd just be like spilling everything.
We can always cut it out. We can be the only ones now.
Because it's just so big and so exciting. I'm like keeping it to myself, which is so hard. It's like between right now, it's like me and like PR and like my agent, and we're just, and like my best friend, and we're just hit like, oh my God.
Do you already have it written? Can I ask that?
I have the first 5 chapters of the next book written
Oh,
because
okay.
they were like begging to be let out. And I actually, for the first time, have plotted this book from beginning to end.
Okay.
It will probably change. Like, I think I plot something and then I just like, yeah, do you know what? Forget it. But yeah, and then what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I am taking like a break during Christmas and the beginning of January
Mhm.
just to like rest a little bit, and then I think it's gonna be another beautiful thing in the sense that like I am so ready to type this book. I'm so excited.
I'm so ready. I'm so excited to read it.
Honestly, like anything you write, like I swear you have put crack in.
There's something.
I
in
like
them.
I don't know what it is, but like I fly through your book.
We read your books so much faster than any other books because we can't physically put them down.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. I don't do that with my books. But it makes me, I'm so honored when someone says this to me. Every time someone says, like, you put crack in your book, I think of that Taylor Swift song. Was it the anti-hero one where she's like, what is she? I can't remember. Sorry, I'm so bad at reminding
There's something
titles.
along those lines. I don't know. I'm
But
not Alex. I can't remember word for word.
yeah, it's just like where she says like she puts something in her songs or like crack in her songs. Oh, I don't know, a drug or whatever. And I always I
Mhm.
always think of that. Not that I compare myself to Taylor Swift, but I think the honor that it is to hear that is yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't it must just be like your writing style because like sometimes
It's also the characters, too.
Yes.
And I'm like, I need
I
I
need
need to know what happens next, like now,
yeah.
like immediately.
Yeah. But it's just the way that you write it just flows so nicely. I very, very, very rarely like feel the need to like go back and like reread a couple sentences because like I just didn't understand something. Like I don't think I've ever done that in any of
Thank
your
you.
books.
Thank
Whereas
you.
like
That really
sometimes I
touched
do.
me.
So it's just yeah, just the way you write is just so seamless and yeah.
Yo,
Crack.
No,
crack.
seriously, there's something in them.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for writing
Yeah.
because they are
That's sad.
over.
Well, I mean, the universe isn't over. There's something coming that we just don't know about.
Yeah, fair
But no,
enough. The
I am
universe
sad.
is
Yeah, I am sad to say goodbye to SFU.
yeah.
Yeah.
oh God,
I
me too.
really liked, and you actually had said this, that Nyx gave a whole different perspective of SFU
Mm-hmm.
to the readers. Like I
Yeah.
didn't picture a castle or like, you know what I mean? Like
So that's really funny because you're not the first person to tell me this, but I'm like, you guys, the castle has been mentioned since the beginning. Like my no, but like
I feel
you're
like
not,
it coming through the eyes of someone who's so used to all of that stuff
it,
and
and
everything. It feels different than it coming through Nyx's eyes, who's not used to
I
different.
completely agree. I
Yeah,
agree, and that is there's a lot more description of
yeah,
campus
yeah,
when it's Nick
exactly.
talking about it
Yeah,
because she's not used to it. The other ones are kind of like, oh, I don't know if it's in Loving the Lie or Loving the Reaper, but all she really mentions is like, oh, I'm back in front of the castle and I'm looking at like pictures of people's holidays and like
yeah.
now they're posting about they're posting pictures in front of the castle. Like that'd be like kind of the only things, or like when they're talking about like in Love in the Reaper, like the statue of like Athena and like where it's pointing and like the secret rooms and stuff. But definitely, and you're not the only one. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. But my beta reader also was like, when I was mentioning it, the castle room, she was like, oh, it's a castle. And I was like, have you not read the other books? Like, but no, like obviously because that's how we talk to each other. But it's true, you're right, and it's a different perspective, and that's
Yeah.
not
yeah.
a
And I
bad
feel
thing.
like I
Don't
still
remember.
pictured a castle
Yeah.
reading the other ones,
Mhm.
but I feel like because they're from that world, it was like more like
Oh, that's the
muted and
castle.
dark, and it didn't matter. And it
Yeah.
was just like, oh, whatever. And then it's Nyx coming, and it's like this big, beautiful thing. This
Yeah.
is so not
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
holy shit, there's a
world.
giant ostentatious castle over
And you're
there.
like going through her head, driving all the way up to it, which we've never really done.
Yeah,
in
you don't
otherwise.
usually get like how long, like the driving up the
Yeah.
hill and everything, for
Yeah.
sure. And it's funny, but like this actually came from like I studied at university, which it wasn't a secret society, whatever, but it was a
That you
huge
know of.
castle. Well, I won't, yeah, I don't know, maybe. It was a huge castle, and I actually got inspired from that castle to use it for, which
That's really
technically
cool.
probably wouldn't make sense because I wouldn't, mine is in the UK. I don't think you have that kind of castle in the US, but it doesn't matter. It's fictional.
No idea.
It's Silver Falls, as I was worse.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and I remember obviously when I moved in, and my like bedroom was actually in the castle, and I just remember being like, holy fucking shit. And then you go for 3 years And then it just becomes like part of the background. And then someone would visit me and be like, oh my God, the castle. And I was like, oh yeah, it's the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what it was like looking
Yeah.
through everybody else's eyes, just like, oh yeah, it's a castle. And then all of a sudden the last book is Nyx and
Yeah.
she's like, holy, oh my God,
Yeah.
like everything.
Reading it, like I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I felt completely different through Nyx's
Yeah.
eyes compared to everything else.
Yeah.
Or even like the little things that they talk about, like especially Achilles, and she's always like, check your privileges, like watch
Mhm.
yourself. When he like talks about things, she's like, actually, we like other people do care about that.
Yeah.
So
Like the price of bananas.
Bananas.
The
She's
price of
like, yeah, I
bananas.
do check the price of a banana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I was like, I almost didn't put it because I was like, is this necessary? And then I was like, still, I want to make a point that
Yeah.
some people don't check the price of bananas.
Yeah. Or like the plane thing. He's like, you've never been on a plane before. And she's like, I've never left the county.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She's like, I grew up in a trailer park. Like,
What
That's the
plane do you
thing.
think I've been on?
yeah.
I wanted someone to just like remind him, like, you grew up like no one else grows up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Put him in his place a bit. Did where you grew up inspire where Achilles' mom was hiding?
It's where my parents live, yeah. So when I go to France, I go back to that town, and I actually wanted to have a whole epilogue where they go there, and I was like, it's going to be so fun talking about my city. It's not where I grew up, but it's where they live now. And it's gonna be so fun. And then I was like, that would be like a second epilogue. Like that's not part of this epilogue. Like how could I jump from like what's going on right now to like them, I don't know, like a month or a year later there with like the kids and stuff. And I was like, it's gonna have to be, I don't know, if I get the time, a bonus scene probably, a bonus chapter,
It'd be
something
fun. I
like
kind of
that.
want to know like where she was hiding and like what it kind of looked like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the south of France looked like. I pictured a little beach town.
Yeah, it could be. It's not in that case, but it could be. It's not far from the beach, but it's not a beach town. It is though like a old town, like uh all the buildings are like super, super old and it's really beautiful. But maybe I'll write about it. But then like yeah, maybe I will. I don't know.
One last question. I know you talked a little bit about second gen, and we met you at BB40 this year in Vancouver. And
Mhm.
I did ask you about a second gen, and you said yes, it is coming, but it obviously there's other people's stories that have to happen
Hmm.
first. But you are planning to write a second gen?
I think that everyone knows the answer to the second gen. They just want me to be like, announce it. I'm not going to like announce it to the world because there are like at least, if there was to be a second gen, there's at least one, two, there's at least three series before it. And
Wow.
one of them is a really, really long series, like longer than the North Shore. So we're talking like literally years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the real question is, why wouldn't I write a second gen? Like
Yeah.
there
There's
are
now too many
children
there's
here.
now too many children.
Otherwise, they would
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have mentioned the children.
Yeah.
So I don't like to, I don't want to be like, there is going to be a second gen and it's going to be then and it's going to be about these people. Because, first of all, what if some kids don't make it to the second gen? Not because they're gonna die or anything, but because like they're just not like their story, they don't find their significant other. I don't know. And then, who exactly is going to have kids? I don't know either. So there are so many people in chronological order. I have to get to them because I know they exist. They're both like, let's say in that couple, they've both been mentioned in the universe already, and it makes sense in my head. And unfortunately, in this process, we're doing things the way it makes sense in my head.
No,
So I
that's
don't, that's the only advantage I get here is my head that is coming
Yeah.
out of. So yeah.
It just seems that like the way that
I think you just got it so in your head when you saw that Alex was pregnant
yeah.
that there was going to be a second gen right now.
Yeah. but it's definitely like leading up
You've
to
been,
it.
I think, 18 years.
No, I
18
don't mean
years
right
for a child.
now, but everything just seems like it's like leading in that direction.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
Jamie gets pregnant in the bonus scene of Stoneview Stories. I don't know if you've read it one by one or if you've read the omnibus, but the omnibus has extra bonus scenes where you can see Jamie getting pregnant. And then, we're still waiting for Rose and Rachel to get married, and Lick and Sam. We've got obviously the twins. We've got now Alex is pregnant. Obviously, Nyx and Achilles have 2 kids. Um, I think that we've got enough crowd now to to make something out of it. But the announcements, they're being Jamie being pregnant, that announcement was years ago. And we're still not like it still didn't mean that we were getting a second gen. And same for everyone else. Like obviously the twins were now 3 books ago, if you think about it, and we still don't have a second gen. So there are announcements because I want people to be aware that those people exist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think some authors maybe would be like, okay, we've finished those like series now and we've got enough people to make a second gen. Let's make a second gen and then let's come back to the other people. But in my and I don't know, like it's just me, but it has to be chronological. I have to do
No,
it.
I agree with that. That makes way more sense.
I
And
don't want
my next question has nothing to do with the second gen. I'm just curious because Ren wants a child so badly. Do you think Peach will ever give in to him, or because he's like begging at this point?
I just had so much fun, and it literally came out while I was writing that epilogue. I was like, how hilarious would it be if he's like begging her and she's just like, shut up. And so I was just like having such a good time doing that. She's not like it's not that she doesn't want to have kids, it's just that she wants like a Nobel Prize right now, So she's like, we're busy. Like, bear in mind at that point, obviously Alex and Zai are not at university anymore. They left, they didn't do postgrad or anything. Well, Zai didn't go to uni, Alex didn't do any postgrad stuff. Same with like Chris and Ella. But Peach and Ren are postgrads. Well, not they're finished at that point, but they're like just finishing their stuff, right? So they're just like getting into the wild and they're very, very career driven, these two. Whereas, well, like Alex is career driven, but she's like, I just want to teach kids and I just, so she's more in that universe of like being with children and wanting a family and whatever. Their careers are still developing, like they're engineers, like that shit takes years. So yeah, I think I've heard any engineer here.
To me. One thing that, like I said before, I went back and I read it out of order, which I really like that you're writing things in chronological order because I think that it all makes sense and you get little notes of little things and everything of kind of what happened and stuff like that. But I was kicking myself because I met Kill for the first time, who I never thought.
No, you
was
just
like-
look at Lick and you're like, oh, he's just Zai's innocent, like happy-go-lucky brother. Like, there's nothing there. And then you're like, oh, no, that's not the case at all.
That was my by far like favorite part.
Really? Yeah.
In like just like not like favorite part of the entire thing, but something that like really stuck out to me. It's like, oh, like don't be sad, Mr. Security Guard, like whatever. What like I don't know how to frame this properly, but is there a man in the north or in Silver Falls that isn't a complete psychopath? Because I thought Lick was the only
yeah, Lick
one.
was the only stable one for a minute there.
Yeah.
And now he's not stable. Now that we know
No,
he's not
Nick
stable.
is not stable at all.
No, which is what we thought he was.
I think I think Luke is not a psychopath at all.
Okay.
Luke is like looking for the love of his life. And yeah, it's he has obviously something that is going to make him quite interesting, but other than being a psychopath, there are other things. He's not like a good guy, but I think he's like probably the goodest, I know it's not a thing, but like guy
Yeah.
in in Stoneview. And honestly, Chris, I know he's like he's not like clinically a psychopath. He just like just don't take Ella away from him and everything will be smooth sailing. You know, like he's not like that's it.
Yeah.
It's just like don't take Ella away. And apart from those two, which I'm sure everyone's just like it's just Luke anyway. Like they don't consider Chris not a psycho. Um, I mean, I don't know. Like, what does someone have to be to not be classified as a psycho? Like, I think it's a loose term. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Like, someone who doesn't kill people, is that what we want?
I think. I mean, not what I want. Like, I want them to remain
Yeah.
psychos. If there's any that.
But like, just like to fit the criteria, because like I think Ren, apart from the fact that he kills people,
When Ren is not like in his other state, then Ren
yeah,
is the most like normal.
I think he's
Yeah,
very chill. He's a good guy.
yeah. Until he snaps.
Yeah.
Until he snaps, but really, like, how often does that really happen?
Oh God.
You gotta love people for who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also there was, I think probably Chris's dad was really sweet.
Okay.
I'm
That was so sad.
his
Yeah.
dad's no, you don't. His dad's death got so much more upsetting when we went back and read Stoneview
Yeah,
because
yeah,
now
yeah.
we really feel like a connection. We're like, oh, he's like they took like these kids in, and like they're actually like
Chris
great
and-
parents,
yeah.
and we're just like, great, this is even worse
Yeah.
now.
No, his parents are like the only normal
Yeah,
parents and stuff. Oh, maybe like Peach's parents, like her dads are quite normal as well.
Yeah.
But in the whole story, I was like, they're so nice, they're so this, da da da. And then I was like, anyway, off you go.
Yeah.
Sad.
I feel really bad for the people that have read it out of order like us or have not read Stoneview Stories or Roses Duet yet. Because you just
Yeah.
like don't get the full picture of everything, and just the way that you've intertwined it is like so amazing, and you're just like, oh my god, this person popped up, oh my god, that person. I was like, who the fuck is this Camilla bitch? If you never read Stoneview, you would have no idea, and she just pops up.
just some
Yeah.
random girl that's in.
Yeah,
the
and she is,
podcast.
and that, in a way that's okay. Like, I think if people don't go back, it's just that it's not for them to like read the entire universe, and that's
Mhm.
fine. But I do, you should. If you like it, if you like the books, I'm always like, you should read it because honestly, it just like gives such a huge perspective on the universe.
Yeah.
Everything means so much more. Everything makes more sense. Like no one feels random anymore. Like Aaron,
Yeah,
like when we just read North Shore, he's just some random guy from the Wolves that's just showing up.
yeah.
Like whatever, we don't care. And then you go back, you're like, oh, you're like
I
really
care
important.
a lot about you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. Yeah, you matter. Yeah, exactly. You matter. We like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the thing is like I don't want anyone to if for example like they hear about the North Shore because that's usually what people hear about first. They hear about the North Shore and they want to start the North Shore because let's say they don't like high school stories or they don't like bully or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like bully, maybe don't read the North Shore, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of I wouldn't want them to miss out on a series because they feel like, oh my God, it's so much work to go back to the beginning. And I don't want anyone, obviously, my writing has changed a lot. I'm sure, like, if you read, Loving the Tormentor and you then like, oh, I'm going to start from the beginning and you read Giving In, I'm going to be like, well, you're in for a ride because I'm more experienced now and I've learned a lot. But if you can if you can make it past that and then and you're feeling like okay I'm involved in this universe I want to know everything then yeah I think people should definitely go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just randomly I heard about Beautiful Fiend on TikTok, went, downloaded it on Kindle Unlimited, read it all, read the entire series, and then just like honestly just like never thought about like just like going back. But as I've changed as a reader and as we move forward doing this, I never just pick up a book without looking at
We've learned to
anything.
like look at the past stuff because
Yeah.
we've done it quite a few times where we'll just pick up a series and then find out like, ooh, it would have meant a lot more if we started here.
Yeah.
We've learned, we research before we read anything at
Yeah.
this point.
And I try to put it like before it was like I was like promoting Loving the Tormentor on Instagram. It's usually pinned on my top, like my top things on the Instagram. But even that, sometimes I don't update it. Like I should be a bit more like, guys, this is the order. But some like content creators have done it now as well. Like they're like, okay, this is where you should start, and this is the order you should read, which is I am so grateful for. Thank you to those guys.
Yeah, it's very, I find that I appreciate the smaller things more too. Like um Nate going to Silver's and getting nachos with Rachel and Rose.
Yeah.
That meant so much
It
more.
means
Yeah.
so much more after you meet Jamie and
Yeah.
everything, and just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find that like things that don't necessarily feel like very important are
Yeah.
very important if you've like gone along the whole journey. So
Yeah.
I definitely would suggest to everybody, please go and read the entire
I
thing.
do love the little things. And
Yeah.
when I started writing, I was kind of like I would tell my partner at the time, like, I just one day what I want is just like people will like go back to the other books and be like, that was an Easter egg, that was an Easter egg, like, and then just people like start to understand the whole process. And it's crazy to think that like I wrote my first book like I don't know 5 or 6 years ago, look, 5 years ago now, and like it's only starting now that people are going and fishing for the Easter eggs, whereas like I was thinking about them 5 years ago. It's just so crazy.
Yeah. So like I'm like you just said, like you plan like, oh, I'm going to like bring this up in this one and like remind people about this thing in um future books.
Yeah.
Like that's like something like you plan. They're very strategically placed.
Yeah, I think I plan the general universe way more than I plan the books. Like than I plot the books. I just know I have to like put it in the book afterwards. So I try not to do like too many Easter eggs because I don't want to lock myself in something and then I have to have it in the story if it then doesn't fit the story. Uh, but yeah, definitely like like I have this huge Excel sheet where the universe is like everything that has happened and where everyone is during other people's books. I'm like, okay, so now we're gonna write Loving Tormentor. This is where everyone is. This is what everyone else is doing at that time from all the other books.
Oh wow. I would love to see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, although like this sheet makes sense to no one but me. It's like color coded and everything and highlighted and whatever. And then sometimes like my beta reader goes on it to make sure that everything like fits. And she's like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening here. So she's got like her own notes on her side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like me and her sat there for like an hour the other day. We're like, okay, so it was were Caden and Nate in jail at the same time?
This happened. We did a whole timeline the other day. We were sitting there. Okay, well, this happened. This is where this person would have been. Okay, well, Nate would have been out of jail by now. And then yeah, we did a
That's
whole.
really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it really
No,
is to
yeah.
sort of like figure out like exactly like
We figured exactly how things worked, exactly where everything lined up. We're like, okay, we got it now.
yeah.
Okay, well, if you guys find some like plot holes or anything, just text me, please, because you never know. Like I can't forget. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that was the wrong age, and like it was just like shit, and then I have to like a year later like go back discreetly go back to the book and change the age, and then like re-upload it on Amazon. I'm like, no one saw that.
Yeah. No, it was more like what were we were trying to figure out exactly how old the girls were. is
No,
what
we
it
were
started-
trying to figure out the exact timeline from the end of Stoneview to
right.
where we were now. So then we were like using the girls' ages to be able to
Yeah.
look at, but we got
Yeah,
it.
And like
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
long Nate was like how long after when Rose got taken, Nate went to jail and then all the
yeah.
that.
It's like the timeline makes sense to me, and I hope that it's working and that I haven't done like some fucked up thing on it that just like moved everything 1 year or something. I don't know.
Wait,
But yeah, the
No,
most
I did the
difficult
exact math on a calculator. We're good.
Okay, good. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you did. Ages are so difficult, especially because sometimes I write a character and I don't necessarily have their date of birth. Like I do most of them, but if they're a side character initially, I don't really have it. I'll have it during their own book. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, the age aren't adding up, and I'm like, wait, I'm gonna make it that like he was born in like January. And then like that works because we're now in like April.
Well,
yeah, like the whole Jake being technically old enough to be in that grade, but was born in the wrong
I
month. And the
know
whole
that. Oh, honestly, like I don't think this would be necessary now. Like that was just because at the time I was writing those characters that I had known in my head since I was 13 years old. Like those were from like fan fictions and then turned into like my own things and like whatever. But I was a teen when I wrote them, and I think looking back now, it just wasn't necessary for them to be so young. But you know sometimes I'm like, and I'm like, well, I can't really change it now, but if I could do it all over again, maybe that's something I would change just because it's just not needed that much.
yeah, that would make sense. But then also like you need Nate to be young enough to be where he
Yeah,
is in Lawless. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Do
know it's math. Hate it.
yeah.
I have one question. Do we ever find out more about Nate, Jake, and Rose's parents?
It's funny because I know who they are, but I'm just like, do I ever want to share that? Like, I'm like, if it hasn't come up yet, then maybe it's just not needed. Like it might maybe one day in a bonus scene or something.
So they're not like a part of like we haven't met them.
No, 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 no. They're
Oh,
not
okay.
like otherwise like I would have like made it obvious by now. It's
Oh, okay.
actually a lot more fucked up than one would think. And that's why I'm kind of like, do we want to add this to their story? They've
Yeah.
suffered so
Yes.
much.
Yes, we do want to add it to their
You
story.
would, but they're suffering. And I'm just like, I could change who they are. Like this, no one knows. It's not written anywhere. It doesn't have to be that bad. But in my head, I'm like, but it's it. Like it's not. Sometimes I feel like I'm powerless against. It's almost like it already exists, and I'm just telling the story. And I'm like, I'm powerless. Like this is it, and that's what they like. That's what life chose for them.
That's what
As if
feels
I
like.
could not change it.
Yeah,
I'm so curious who their
I
parents
know.
are now.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm just now I'm gonna start making shit up.
I
in
mean,
my
their
brain.
parents couldn't have been normal.
No,
There's no way that they birthed
No.
those three
No.
and were normal. That's not
They're not.
possible at all.
They're not. They're not.
No.
okay, well, I think that is all of the questions I have at least. I mean, I could sit here and talk to you about this world forever. It's like my favorite place. It's real. I swear in my head, it's a
Feels
real.
real.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, it exists.
We all think it.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time and spending it with us. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh,
And
thank
it
you.
was really nice to get to know you and get to know more in depth on your process and your characters and everything like that. So I just want to say thank you. And yeah, we absolutely love it. And we are so excited for what comes next. I'll be like,
Yeah, we'll be on Instagram daily.
yeah.
Refreshing.
I'm not sure it's going to be announced before the end of the year, so don't like probably like a January thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm super excited and thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. I feel like we were in the same room for the time
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
on our
No,
sofas,
you're
but
like, what, 8 hours away?
12
yeah,
hours.
Hours
it's
ahead, 12 hours
quarter
ahead.
to 6 p.m.
It's
It is 9:47 a.m.
Yeah.
You guys woke up early for this.
yeah, we did.
Of course.
Did you wait? So are you guys? I'm gonna have to go because I need to leave in 10 minutes. But you guys living? Are you related? Do you just live close together? Do you...
We live like down the
Like
street.
5 minutes.
And she
Yeah.
lives just a
Like,
couple minutes away.
yeah.
We're
But-
friends and we're cousins. Me and
So
her.
we're
Oh.
cousins.
Oh, I
We're
see.
friends, and then
And then I met
Yeah.
But through books or...
through books. That's how
well,
we became close.
That's how
was
we
through
became
books.
friends. Me and her
God.
have been friends since grade 1.
Yeah.
Oh my
And we're
goodness.
cousins, and then she introduced us, and we
And then
just
both
couldn't stop
love
talking
her.
about books.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
dragged her down
And they
with
got
us.
me into books, and now here I am, and now here we are.
Honestly, the chances of like being related friends, living close to each other and liking the same books is like,
Yeah.
you guys are basically like God's favorite, like at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We have known each other our entire lives. So
Yeah.
it was
My
like,
God.
yeah. And then I just picked up a book one day and I hadn't stopped. And she goes, I don't know how you do that. So then I gave her audiobooks. She loved that. And then she picked up a physical one day and has not put it down since.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm happy for, a little jealous, but also happy for you. So yeah, just maybe where do you live in Canada, and maybe I'll just move there.
Yeah. We're in Vancouver. Come on over.
Wait, you actually live in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't travel
God.
for that.
They're doing another book convention in 2027. Feel free to come.
They are. Wait, I actually think I saw about this today. Is it got river in the name? No, city.
Yeah,
No.
Royal
Romance
City.
The Royal City. or
Romancing the
something.
Royal City.
It's River City Events that's doing it.
Ah, there you go. I
Yeah.
must have mixed like the title
Mhm.
and the...
Yeah.
Oh no. I literally, my like the PR I'm with were like, oh, by the way, this is going on 2027. You should have a look today.
Yeah, come. We'll take you to dinner while you're here.
Yeah.
Come.
Well, do you need
Yeah.
a TA? We'll help you.
We'll just do a whole thing, just the four of us. It's
Yeah.
is it in Vancouver as well? I need to look more into it.
It's just outside of it's in New West,
Which is 20 minutes outside of Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
it's
I'm
one of
gonna
the
have to
surrounding
have a
cities.
proper
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for tonight. Today.
Thank you.
cool.
It was a pleasure talking to you. You are
We had the best
awesome.
time.
Cool.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was our interview. We had the best time talking to her. We just want to thank you again for being on our podcast. We loved chatting with you. And to all the listeners out there, thank you for listening. And we will see you guys in the next episode.